Welcome to the Remote Student Orientation. My name is James Neff, and I'm the Remote Learning Facilitator for Manhattan High School. In this orientation, I will refer to many of your expectations that we have for you as a remote student. You can find the complete student handbook at the link provided, and you can download that to look at for the full list of expectations. Throughout the course of the semester, it may become important for you to contact the principal or the remote learning office professional or myself. Our remote learning principal is Mrs. Trina Dabini. Our remote learning office professional is Mrs. Michelle Sinks. Please contact Mrs. Sinks if you know you will be gone for an appointment or you are out sick. For other questions, you may contact me, the remote learning facilitator, or Mrs. Dabini, or also Mrs. Sinks. Now, there may be times when you need technical assistance with your iPad, Canvas, or mobile hotspot. The following number, 587-2077, is available for you, and it is our Technology Help Desk. They are available Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. As a remote student, we do have a little bit of different expectations because you are working remotely, as opposed to students who are working in person in the building. The first and foremost is be present in class. Now, being present and being in attendance are really two different things. You can be in attendance but not be present. What we mean by being present is you're giving each class your full attention, you're showing up on time, and you're prepared to work with the teacher and interact with your classmates in the virtual environment. That is very important, that you don't just show up, turn off your camera, and walk away and go play Xbox. It is important that you are there to give your class that's your full attention and be prepared to learn. Also, being present also means showing good manners on Zoom. Make sure you stay muted, so unless you need to speak. Be mindful of what people would see if your camera was on. It is really important that everything that's behind you or around you is school appropriate. And then do not use the chat to conduct side conversations with other students. It is important to use the chat feature to communicate with your teacher and to contribute to discussion. Now, with attendance, we do expect you to be in attendance for all of your classes. Attendance policy is the same as if you were in person in the classroom. You are expected to be in school from 7:40 to 3:05. So this is not a time when you can tell your boss that you're going to need to pick up some more hours. We do expect you to be in class, in attendance, in the Zoom from 7:40 to 3:05 for each of your classes. If you are going to be gone, or if you have to be gone for a day, please contact Michelle Sinks or myself and let us know why you are going to be gone and what the situation is. Also, if you're going to be gone for an extended period of time, it is very important to let us know, because truancy rules do apply, and truancy can be filed if you are not showing up to class. Now, daily schedules will look like this. We will have advisory on Monday and Thursday, but not on Wednesday. So we will be using a block period on Monday and Tuesday and Thursday, Friday. You will have class for approximately 48 minutes per period, but you will have all of your period, each period class will be in attendance throughout the day. Now, lunches will look a little different. On your blue days, that will occur during the second period. So please contact your second period teacher to find out when they plan on taking lunch with you. Same thing on red days, that will happen during your sixth period. Please contact your sixth period teacher to know what time your lunch is. On Wednesdays, it will be with your fifth period teacher. Please make sure you pay attention to announcements coming from those teachers to find out when you will be taking lunch and when you will be in class with them. Now, if we should have a shortened week, for instance, if we have a Friday off or a Monday off, we will use a 4-day schedule, which goes blue day, red day, followed by a blue day, red day. If for some reason we should have a 3-day week, we'll have blue, red, and then a 7-period day. There won't be many of these weeks, but we will have a few throughout the course of the second semester. In the event that we should have to revert back to a hybrid model with our in-person students, our Wednesday will look different. It will not be all classes. We will have office hours in the morning and an advisory check-in. So your advisory class will be your required course that you check in with. That will occur from 8:30 to 8:55. Your advisory teacher can give you more information on this if we should have to go back to the hybrid model. Now, communicating with your teachers is really, really important. It is imperative you know how to use Canvas Messenger to send messages to your teachers and Outlook to email your teachers. Please turn on the notifications on your iPad for both Canvas messages and your email notifications. Having those notifications pop up on your iPad is really good for both your understanding of what's happening with your teachers and with your classes, and being able to stay on top of emails that you may need to respond back to quickly. Please check your email every morning. It's a very good habit to the very first thing that you do is check your email. And then check it again at the end of the day. The general expectation for emails is that you should answer within 24 hours. Whether you're a teacher or whether you're a student, that 24-hour rule kind of applies for both. If you're sending a message to your teachers, please make sure you are clear, brief, to the point, and respectful. Please use as good a grammar as you can and don't use too many abbreviations or slang terms. Your teachers may not understand what your slang term means, and so it can create a block to communication. Also, please inform your teachers of any unusual circumstances that may prevent you from being in class. It's common courtesy to let them know if you're going to have a doctor's appointment or you won't be there for class. Please take the time to send that message out to your teachers. Also, don't be afraid to let your teachers know if you find a difference between your grade in Canvas and your grade in Infinite Campus. That's okay. It's good for them to know about it. Also, there may be an issue that pops up with Canvas from time to time that delays the sync between the grades in Canvas and the grades in Infinite Campus. It's good for your teachers to be aware of that. They may have not noticed that that happened. These things happen. So, some tips to be successful as a remote student. There are a lot of lessons that we learned from the first semester of remote learning. And the first one that most students have learned is do not procrastinate. As you can see from the gradebook picture that's on the left, and this is an actual gradebook picture from a student's course, and they didn't do very well. It is important to know that the more missing assignments that start to accumulate, the harder it's going to be for you to pass that class. Do the assignments when they're assigned. It is really important to stay on top of things and not to get behind. It can become quickly overwhelming, and it can feel very, very daunting to be able to get everything done if you let too much pile up and accumulate. Missing assignments are the number one reason students will fail. The other reason, not attending class. So it's important that you stay on top of your assignments. The more zeros that show up in the gradebook, the worse your grade's going to be. And so those missing assignments become very, very important. Better yet, don't let any of those accumulate. Now, more success strategies. Make sure you're talking to your teacher. The more you communicate with your teacher about problems you're experiencing or things that you don't understand, the better off you'll be. Okay, that is very important. Your teachers want to help you, and so if they know what's happening, they can reach out and try to help you as best they can, even in the remote learning environment. You're not on your own. They're there to help you. Biggest thing, put away your games and game consoles. Yes, you do have all day at home. You could play on the Xbox. That's not a good idea. Save that for after you get all your work done. Make it a good reward. The most important thing is to stay focused while you're there. It's also the hardest thing because you're at home. And so you're going to have to show some very good self-discipline in staying away from the games and other distractions. Speaking of distractions, make sure you turn off the music and TV when your teacher is speaking and you're supposed to be in class. That is really important that you stay focused on those things, especially if you have to unmute to ask a question. The rest of the class doesn't want to hear your TV and music playing. Be respectful of both your teacher and your classmates when you're working in Zoom. Also, have a dedicated space for school that is not your bed. Working on your bed is not a good strategy. Using your bed as a desk usually creates more problems than it solves. Your subconscious mind always wants to do what comes normal in bed, and that's sleep. So you will naturally feel sleepy when you're working on your bed. Have a dedicated space that's quiet and to yourself when you're doing your remote learning. Well, that's all for this orientation. Have a great semester, and if you need anything, again, communicate. That's the biggest thing you can do. Good luck, have a terrific semester, and great success.